I turn to you, Olivier. I want to just talk to the community, just address something that has been coming up. Obviously, a few days ago, we announced that there will be new map rotations, and I just want to say that we've heard your feedback. We really do. I get it in my Twitter, I get it in my DM, I see it on the main channel, I see it on Reddit, and we hear you, and as soon as we get back to Montreal, we will be sort of evaluating that feedback and seeing what the key issues are. Gamescom, how's everybody doing? I'm Justin Kruger, the community developer on Rainbow Six Siege, and today we're going to take a look back at Operation Health, provide you a few insights on how it did, and a little look into the future of what you can expect coming up very soon. Please give a round of applause for my amazing panel, Paul Vlasi, programming lead, Olivier Couture, technical director, and a man that needs no introduction, Alex Remy, brand director. How's it going, Alex?
Very good, thank you.
Now, let's get started here. 3 months ago, we were up on this stage introducing the world to Operation Health and our new philosophy and direction that we were heading into for Operation Health. Now, how's it doing, and where are we at right now?
Look, Justin, I think I couldn't be prouder than what the team has achieved over the past few months. This is the largest, the biggest update we're about to ship. It's not only large in terms of size, and I think we'll be covering it a bit later on the panel. It's just massive in terms of improvements and fixes, but it's also extremely massive in terms of ambition, right? We announced 3 months ago like some major refactoring on the online, a change of philosophy, as well as deployment of new servers, right? So this is really changing the whole foundations of the game.
And you talk about philosophy. What is the philosophy moving ahead in the future, and that we addressed in Operation Health?
Yeah, the change of mindset for the team is really going towards quality of service first. Everything we're doing and we want to do in the future is going to go through test servers before it goes actually live. The idea is to put that safety network, which any new content that comes in the game is actually tested and stress tested to its limit, so that when everyone plays it, it's actually at its best in terms of state.
So really a refinement of the game, and some of the improvements that we are going to be seeing are going to be covered by these fine gentlemen to my left in just a few moments. But before we get into some of the details of how Operation Health did, let's take a look back at some of the pillars that we first introduced to you guys 3 months ago. Obviously, technical improvements, new deployment process, bug fix. But we also, throughout the course of developing and working on this game over the past 3 months, we had a lot of more additions. So we added on 2 more into that, a couple more improvements. Now, let's take a look back also on our first pillar here. Let's get started and focus in here. Paul, we introduced one-step matchmaking in patch 2.1. How was that, and how did that perform when we introduced it?
Well, Justin, since we deployed one step, it takes on average about 20 seconds to get a match in casual and about 45 seconds in ranked. This represents a drop of 30% in casual and 11% in ranked, which is frankly quite nice.
So as we can see, we'll pull up a graph here that shows some of the improvement to average duration of matchmaking time. So this is actually how long people are waiting to get into a match, right?
That's correct. And the faster matchmaking is nice, but what is also nice is that we've observed a much higher success rate in matchmaking. We are up to 92% now in casual and up to 87% in ranked.
Oh, great. That's really cool.
Yes.
So not only are you connecting faster, but people are backing out and canceling the match out of matchmaking less.
The cancel rate has gone down as well, actually, and basically the cancel rate has gone down from 25% to 11% in casual, and from a whopping 43% down to a much more reasonable 19% in ranked.
So what do you attribute that cancel rate decrease to?
I think the faster matchmaking helps, of course. But it's matchmaking is faster, it's more efficient, people are not canceling out as much.
So overall, better, smoother experience, faster, you connect faster, players are backing out of matchmaking less, and they're having a better success rate of actually connecting.
They're having a better experience, and we're quite happy with these results, and I think the community is quite happy as well.
Cool. Now, looking back at Pillar 1 as well, we had peer-to-peer removal and new servers. Paul, for our peer-to-peer systems, we don't have many, but for the most part, Siege is hosted on dedicated servers for PvP, but we did have some peer-to-peer aspects that we removed, right?
That's right. So as you said, Siege was always a dedicated server kind of game, but we had a few peer-to-peer features that we are trying to remove because what we actually observed is a lot of our connection errors were attributed to peer-to-peer connections. So the goal for us is to remove all these peer-to-peer aspects in order to simplify our flows and reduce our connection errors.
So what are some of these peer-to-peer systems that we're removing?
So we have dedicated servers now for custom games and terrorist hunt, which are live since update 2.2. And we have, of course, dedicated servers for voice chat using Vivox that are live on PC since 2.2 as well.
So now when you connect to PC and you hear that in-game voice chat, it is silky smooth, man. I really love the voice chat now that you guys have implemented.
It's much better, and with the release of Season 3, this is coming to PS4 as well.
Cool.
And it's coming to Xbox soon after that.
Now, one other thing we talked about was the removal of peer-to-peer in party systems as well, right?
That's right. Party system features are still using peer-to-peer for now. The update is not ready. We're working on it, and we're going to ship it when we're satisfied that it meets our quality requirements.
Great. Now moving on to our new servers. Paul, where are those new servers? Provide us an update on what's happening with those.
Well, Justin, it's no secret that we've been testing the D2 servers on the TTS for a while now, and the results have been quite encouraging. Before, we were running our servers on what is called A1 infrastructure, and the performance was good, but once in a while we had like performance spikes, which for the players resulted in a bit higher latency once in a while and some lag. Now that we've switched to D2 servers, we're seeing that the performance is much more consistent. The frame rate, the tick rate of the server is stable, it's consistent, and it results in a much smoother gameplay for our players, reduced latency, and less lag.
Overall, much smoother experience, less lag, better FPS, overall better experience. We've been receiving a lot of feedback from you guys on the technical test server, and it's been really, really awesome. And now, when can players expect the new servers deploying?
Well, I am quite happy to say that with the release of Season 3, D2 servers will be live on PC, and we will continue to deploy on consoles shortly after, as we do usually.
That's really awesome. So these new servers are coming with Season 3 on PC when we deploy on September 5th, and also they'll be live, of course, when we deploy on the technical test server on August 29th.
Yes. Another thing I wanted to mention is these D2 servers are for us the stepping stone. It's the foundation for the upcoming improvements that we're going to bring to hit registration and reduce latency that are coming in the next season.
Great. Fantastic. So future improvements to reduce latency, those high ping moments, and also a few improvements to hit registration coming in the future.
That's right.
Great. So Alex, we've been talking a lot about the technical test server, and I just mentioned there that we are deploying the full season on the technical test server on August 29th with a deployment at a later date on September 5th. Give us a little update as to this new deployment process that we have been focusing on in our Pillar 2, and why are we taking this new direction?
We definitely want to have and put in place a change of mindset again, where quality of service comes first. We deployed in the past some content or some features in the game that had like some rocky launches, some bumps on the roads, and now the idea is to make sure that every time that the content goes out, it actually is as clean as possible. We introduced the test servers and that philosophy with some of the features that we discussed, one-step matchmaking and alpha packs for one, and starting now, every content features as well as technology feature is going to go through that exact process. So test servers first, once we're ready, it goes live on all platforms.
Really, really interesting new process, and it's the first time that we're deploying the full build onto the technical test server so that you guys can try it out, play it before it goes live to the servers. And can players kind of expect that this is might be a little bit of more of a trend in the future?
Absolutely. Starting from now, every season, every seasonal content, every major upgrade in the game will go through test servers before it goes live. So next and upcoming season will follow exactly the same process. So people expect to be, and some that can play the test servers to actually try it and test the new content before it actually goes live.
Now, that's really awesome. Thank you, Alex, for explaining the new deployment process to us. Now, moving on to our pillar 3, which is our bug fix sprints. Obviously, these are top issues that were reported by our community. We've been talking a lot about Season 3 and Operation Blood Orchid, which will be deploying on September 5th and onto the technical test server. But we're also going to be revealing it later in the show as well. And I'm really happy and proud to announce that these guys and all of the guys around the world and in Montreal have been working so hard on Operation Blood Orchid. And we are really excited to announce that we have over 1,300 bug fixes coming in Operation Blood Orchid, which address some of the biggest issues that you guys have been talking about. Some of them have already been mentioned, but also we have a slew of new improvements, like a new smoke system for smoke grenades and Capitals bolts, smoke bolts, which are more reliable and more consistent for each client that are looking through them. We also have a lot of operator balancing changes to Jackal, IQ, a few other things, a few weapon balancing changes, weapon fall-off damage, and of course, as attackers, you can now do 2 drones at a time as well without destroying your first drone. So a lot of interesting improvements and changes that we're actually going to be covering in our coming up sections with Pillar 5. But looking at Pillar 4, which is our major updates, we also introduced hitboxes and alpha packs as well. Olivier, you guys worked quite a bit on hitboxes and that new system that we have. What was the results of that?
So the results were very positive. So just as a reminder, before the hitbox system, everything on the operator would react as a hitbox. So what we saw with some statistics is that we realized that some operators were more likely to receive to be killed by headshots. So in order to address this issue, what we did is completely rework the hitbox system on all operators. So as we can see on the graph, we have the distribution of headshot kills per operators. Some operators were more likely to receive headshots like Blitz or Jaeger with the big earmuffs, were most likely to get shot like that. So what we did is, by reworking the hitbox, we saw that there's a more even distribution on the headshot. It's more balanced.
So here we can see before the update,
on the left.
Yeah, on the left there was a wide distribution of operators that were getting headshotted, all different variations of all different levels, and now they're all kind of within this 40% to 44%. Nice little compact window where they're all kind of getting the same consistency of headshots, except for those few outliers like Mira and Blackbeard, right?
Yeah, because of their gadget. Mira is always peeking through the little window, so she gets more headshot, and Blackbeard is protected behind the shield, so that explains. Nice.
And one of our other obviously major updates were alpha packs, and you guys have been going crazy for alpha packs. I've loved seeing the videos, and you've been embraced this so much that you have opened up over 32 million alpha packs within the first week. So that is really amazing, and you can expect more content coming to the alpha packs in Season 3 and beyond. Great. Now let's move on to our 5th pillar here, which is our game optimization and data standardization. You guys have worked a lot on the maps and on the operators. And before I turn to you, Olivier, I want to just talk to the community, just address something that has been coming up. Obviously, a few days ago, we announced that there will be new map rotations. And I just want to say that we've heard your feedback. We really do. I get it in my Twitter, I get it in my DM, I see it on the main channel, I see it on Reddit, and we hear you. And as soon as we get back to Montreal, we will be evaluating that feedback and seeing what the key issues are. So Olivier, what have you guys done for data standardization on map and operators?
So for us, Operation Health also meant investing in the future of Rainbow Six. We wanted to make sure that Rainbow Six is here to stay and we have enough available memory to continue improving the game in the future. So what it meant is we started optimizing the maps and operators. We have new technology that allows us to do a bit more with less. So in terms of visual quality, there's no impact. The only thing for the player is that they will be less likely to have memory crashes. So
and you guys did a similar data standardization for the maps and the operators as well, right?
So we started with Café Dostoevsky. The first map we optimize, the player will see some slight texture changes, but there's no gameplay impact in the map. For operators, there's a slight increase in visual quality. And also, we took the opportunity to fix some of the Valkyrie derpy faces. Basically, the basic facial animation needed to be reworked. So you can see that in Operation Help.
So we have this face rigging system, and it's been totally had to pass over it to make sure that those faces are a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you get shot, you can sometimes get this like little derpy face, but it looks really good now, and it's been across all operators. So you might see slight changes. Those are really kind of just those quality of life, quality of service details that really bring the game to life and to the players. So that is all coming in Season 3, but there's more that you guys worked on, right? Lighting is a big topic within the community. What did you guys do to improve lighting?
So we're very, very happy to say that we finally fixed the lighting issue where the player would get blinded when peeking outside or any contrasted lighting contrast. So we tried to fix this issue in the past with a couple patches. The thing is, to really address the issue, we needed to completely rework the lighting in all the maps. So as of Blood Orchid, you're going to have this lighting fix in all maps. So basically, more comfortable gameplay. People really like it so far in the test we've done.
Yeah, players have been also getting their hands on the new lighting here live at Gamescom at the booth, and they've been really loving it as well.
Yeah.
Now, you guys also have reworked a little bit of the skyboxes too while you're working on lighting, right?
Yeah, just because the skies have a direct impact on the lighting, we took the opportunity just to change our sky system. So for the player, it's just new skies. It's a bit better looking. For us, it gives us a bit more freedom to do whatever we want.
So you can expect all of these things in Season 3 with the deployment of Operation Blood Orchid, and these all these different changes that we've been talking about, the 1,300 bug fixes, these new data standardization, it's going to make the patch size. We have a very large patch size, Paul, pretty much. Why is that, and what have you guys done to improve the patch system?
Well, Justin, as you mentioned, the patch is quite large. Olivier's team has changed a lot of the game's data. He has improved it quite a bit. There are also benefits to the player in this big patch. On our side, on the tech side, we have changed the compression algorithm that we use. So the new compression algorithm obviously makes the files smaller. So upcoming patches will be smaller than they would have been with the previous algorithm. But there's also a benefit in loading times. We've measured about a 10% decrease in loading times, both on consoles and on PC, with this new compression algorithm. So that's going to be a nice bonus for the players.
So when they download this new patch, it's not only going to load faster, so you're going to load into games faster, but it's also, is it going to take up the same amount of space on your hard drive? Or?
So since we shipped Siege, we've been patching the game quite a bit, as you guys know. And during all this time, we've accumulated a bit of wasted space in our Forge files. For those who don't know, our Forge files are basically archive files that contain all of our data. And with the release of Operation Health, what we're doing is we're consolidating our Forge files in order to reduce all of this wasted space. The result, the end result for the player is that once the patch is installed, despite the large size, they will not see a big impact in terms of disk space that the game takes. In fact, it might actually be a bit smaller or about the same.
Cool. So a bit smaller or about the same patch or space on your hard drive, even though the patch is a little bit larger. And I noticed it's a little bit larger on PC than it is for console-wise. Is that Ollie?
Yeah, so basically what we did for HD texture pack users, we are shipping upgraded quality for environment texture. So for those users, you're going to see a significant increase in quality.
Cool. Great. So thank you so much. That is the full Operation Health perspective, insight, recap. We can finally put Operation Health behind us and focus on the future of Siege, which is a very bright future. With Operation Blood Orchid, it really is the final update to this season, and it comes with a ton of changes, a ton of bug fixes. And I just want to thank you, the community, for your support, your passion, and your love and energy throughout this season and throughout the entire launch of Rainbow Six Siege. It has really been inspiring and awesome and emotional for us to see you guys, and none of us here in this studio, none of us here up on stage or back in Montreal would be here without the amount of passion and love that you guys share with us. And I know sometimes we make mistakes sometimes, and we're not always perfect, and there's not going to be one patch to rule them all. But what we can guarantee you is that we will never quit working for you. We will never quit making something that is really awesome, and that is Siege to me, and I hope it is for you as well. We have the next semifinals coming up right after this short break.